I have so many complex feelings and thoughts about the series, but first, let me tell you what this series is even about, and then we'll dive into everything else. So, we follow an ordinary girl as she's admitted to the most prestigious school in the country, where she encounters an exclusive group comprised of the four wealthiest and most handsome boys in the school. Shankai, our female lead, is an 18-year-old girl from a family that's barely able to make ends meet. Due to eternal events, she gets accepted into a school that only accepts upper class elites. She immediately clashes with her classmates, especially Dao Mingxi, our male lead, who is spoiled, arrogant, and a bully. She remains defiant even after becoming a target of a series of pranks intended to torment her, and just when she's about to give up, Lee, our amazing second male lead, always seems to show up to lend her a helping hand. Eventually, the four boys begin to acknowledge our female lead's unyielding personality, and she also begins to see the good in the boys, which paves the way for friendship and an eventual romance. First of all, this drama is way too long. I literally had to drag myself through those 50 episodes. And I just have to mention the song River by Bishop Briggs that they used. I loved it in the beginning, but then it just got way too repetitive. Like, just use a different song, it's not that hard. Now, let's talk about our main characters, and let's start with our main lead. It's kind of hard to get past how much of an asshole he is in the beginning, especially when he forcibly kisses our female lead, clearly against her will, which is a form of assault, but thankfully he does get better later on. Onto our female lead. I actually really liked in the beginning. I just loved how she stood up for herself. But after all that will they won't they and her denying her feelings even after the male lead saved her life and lent her like 1 million yuan to her family, it just gets pretty annoying. Now, let's talk about my favorite character, the second male lead, literally the only reason why I continued watching this series. Like, this man can literally play the violin. He's gorgeous, kind, calm. He's always there for the female lead. He's like super supportive, and I think it's obvious by now that I've got a pretty serious case of the second melee syndrome. Last thing I'm gonna say is that I think he's like 100 times better than the male lead, and not even God himself could change my mind.